All right, folks. Hope everyone's doing well. It's your boy, your man, your sultan, your wizard, your sorcerer supreme, your master back at it again. It's been a long week, folks, but it's cool to do another video like this. And folks, I hope everyone's weekend is doing well. I hope everyone is doing awesome. On this one, folks, wasn't even a video I was planning to make, but I was so disappointed when I saw the latest installment of the Halloween movie, Halloween Ends. Oh my gosh, like I'm not saying I was anticipating this movie because I have seen like pretty much all of the Halloween movies, but it was something I was curious. And man, when I saw this movie, it was it Sunday, now 2 days ago, Friday, I was just so taken back. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Honestly, and to go back, so yeah, compose on this one, I'm just gonna be straight up shooting. I'm gonna not try to edit this video. It's just gonna be a straight up me talking about my thoughts on the Halloween movie, the franchise, and even slasher films in general. Because I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the slasher film genre, but I do still do appreciate the original slasher films like the Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Child's Play, the original. It's like it's always cool to see a film that can provide terror and scare you. So I was always fascinated with those films, and the Halloween films, like Michael Myers was the first like uh, nightmare slash uh, scary villain or scary like film villain that I'd seen from the past since like I was in my maybe early teens. He was the first one I saw Michael Myers before Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. I remember going back when I watched Halloween. There was a Halloween marathon where they were showing like at that time it was only the eight original Halloween movies from the first one to Resurrection. So they used to show a marathon on every weekend, just like a day today. And I remember seeing Halloween 4, then they show Halloween 5 on the weekend. I was way too young to watching this. So I always kind of appreciated, the Michael Myers character and how he was different to Jason or even Freddy. Like he was more stalking his kind of prey. And he wasn't as it wasn't as like talkative or jokey as Freddy, but he wasn't as like his movies were not as gory or like so much carnage like the Jason movies. So it was always great seeing them once. But in my honest opinion, like I feel with the Halloween movies, because I believe there's almost 13 now. If we count it, one, two, three, which Michael Myers didn't even appear in. Four, five, six. Halloween H2O 7, Resurrection 8, the Rob Zombie movies, which is two more. That's 10. So Halloween 8, 2018, the reboot, Kills, and then this one. So you got 13 Halloween movies from a concept that was created by the genius John Carpenter 40, almost 40 years ago, 1978, and it's lasted this whole franchise. But as I mentioned, like these films from like Halloween, let's say 4, which is a pretty much fan favorite, H2O, which is another fan favorite. A lot of people love Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 in 1981. There's been a lot of like really bad sequels in this franchise, and sometimes it kind of boggles my mind, like how they managed to get up to almost 13 films in the franchise. I think it's this and Texas Chainsaw Massacre that you always seem to see like there is a new film involving Leatherface or a new film involving Michael Myers. So it must be financially successful. But like I feel like the bad movies in the Halloween franchise overtake the good ones. Like I said, like for at least from my view, and I would love to do a ranking of this, especially we're in the um, Halloween time now. But I've always like the original one is a classic, 5 out of 5 stars. You cannot beat that. I always thought Halloween 2, 981, which was not directed by John Carpenter, but he was on the set and he gave a lot of creative input into that movie. I always thought that was the best sequel original Halloween 2. I thought Halloween 4 is a solid comeback for the legendary Michael Myers character. This time he's not chasing Laurie Strode. Jamie Lee Curtis is chasing Daniel Harris, Jamie Lloyd, which was cool. And I think after 4, I think H2O, H2O, which a lot of, is a very divisive film. Like a lot of people kind of hate because when it came out in the time when Scream came out in the mid '90s, and it kind of like it like got the slasher films back. Revitalized. That's the word I'm looking for. It revitalized the slasher genre. So Halloween H2O took a lot of Scream, where it doesn't feel so much like a Halloween film. It feels a lot of Scream films. It feels like a lot of like a Scream movie. But I will guarantee you, I will take Halloween H2O. And Halloween H2O is not the worst film. It's not the best film. It's like a good film, and especially with the climax that really puts it into one of like the best Halloween films. H2O just feels miles better than this trash that I'm going to talk about now and in the Halloween ends. So I've always said like those are like the four strongest. One, two, Halloween 4 and H2O. Those are my ones. When I do think of Michael Myers Halloween, those are the ones I like to watch. Regardless of like the canon and all these different timelines. I've always liked those four movies. Now, like going on to the bad, this is what I'm going to talk with Halloween ends. These three movies, this trilogy, in my opinion, is something that never needed to be made in the first place. I know why, obviously, they make it. The first Halloween that came out in 2018 was financially successful, and I believe, again, it was because there was a long time period where there was not a Michael Myers film, and it just even slasher films in general. Like I felt the Saw franchise really took over the slasher film, the you could say the horror movies at one time, and it wasn't until like this Halloween 2018 that came out 4 years ago, it really was financially successful. I actually watched it again in preparing uh, to watch Ends, and I thought the 2018 it's like it's an okay film. It's decent. I love some ideas that they do introduce. I didn't think it was necessary to just kind of wipe all the timeline from Halloween 1 to 2018. I thought they should have at least kept Halloween 2, but they just took everything out. They took the angle. They took the part. They took that part of the story that Michael and Laurie were actually brothers and sisters, which again never really bothered me. But I know for some fans, they're like, "Oh God, why did you do that? Michael Myers he does things on random because he's evil." All of this, So I know them diehard fans are out there. But I felt 2018 is decent. Like I think it's a cool movie to watch on Halloween. Um, I don't think it's as scary as like the ones I mentioned before, 1, 2, or even Halloween 4. I don't think it's as scary, but I think it does like what it set out to do. Again, a lot of new characters got introduced, and I think like the portrayal of Jamie Lee Curtis, who's really like the main protagonist of this Halloween series. It was nice seeing her back in this. I much preferred how she was handled in H2O to Halloween 2018. So I could say Halloween 2018 is not like I'd say definitely after my favorite four being 1, 2, H2 Halloween 4 H2O. I'd say maybe 2018 would be my fifth best. Like that would be my ranking. Halloween Kills, because I remember this. This time last year I was back in Canada, and I remember I watched Halloween Kills because I honestly I'm not giving these try not to swear, I'm not giving these lot my money anymore. I'm not gonna go to the cinema, pay for just to get in, pay for palomitas, pay for popcorns, pay for sodas. I'm not gonna give them my money anymore and get disappointed. So I watched Halloween Kills my own way. I found a way to watch it, and I felt Halloween Kills is a very I can see what they were trying to do. They were trying to make a trilogy. Like this is gonna be the most epic way how we're gonna show Michael Myers coming back and the demise. The fight, the ultimate end to Michael Myers. Halloween Kills. What's so really bad about that is it's a connected movie. Like it feels like if they could take maybe the first part of Halloween Kills and put that at the end of Halloween 2018, and maybe the last part of Halloween Kills and possibly put that in the beginning of Halloween Ends. It feels like it's one movie that could have been a part of the first movie or Halloween Ends. Like they did this thing didn't need to be a trilogy. It didn't need to be like this, you know. Just like how Halloween one and Halloween two that kind of tied that they kind of tied the story together. Like one and two was, they worked together great. You could even say, I know this is I'm gonna get slandered for this, like, but Halloween H2O, and regardless how bad Resurrection is, Resurrection continues the H2O. It continues the H2O story, but it ends. It ends there. It's not tacked on. There's no connecting movie to get to another Halloween Resurrection of that. Halloween Kills was just put in just to connect another movie, and it was unnecessary. It's just you're seeing just Michael Myers pissed, and he's just like hitting everyone in Haddonfield, and you got this whole crazy bullshit mob mentality, you know. So I'm gonna get to Halloween Ends. I just wanna put my history onto this, you know. So was not a fan of Halloween Kills at all. There's some cool kills, but there's just no logic to that movie because the director David Gordon Green he even said that the Michael Myers in his canon of movies was not like supernatural, not like a immortal. Like a lot of the Halloween movies, Michael Myers was like he could not be killed by normal ways. Like you can shoot him, you can run him over, you can burn him on fire, but the boogeyman always returns. But if you see him in Halloween Kills, legit, Michael Myers takes the most damage, possibly in combining all of the other Halloween movies. You know, he gets like his ass kicked. Remember in the mob scene, and he comes back. So what's crazy with now? I'm gonna go into ends like with Halloween ends. What's so crazy is that they made the biggest mistake ever, which you can do, which is your marketing strategy. The marketing strategy. I'm not someone who's advanced in sales, but I do know like if you're marketing something, it's something that you do intend to give and deliver to the audience. And Halloween ends fails at this with a capital F, a capital F. It's a FF. It's a F assignment. First of all, the whole idea of introducing this new character, Corey, whatever that fucking all right, I got it there. That dweeb is in the middle, and the dweeb that's introduced in Halloween Ends. It just felt like I remember when I first watched it, I was like, am I watching Halloween or is it some other slasher movie that came out this year? Because how again, like how does this relate to what you've seen for the first two movies? Okay, like I do understand in layering the story, they see like how these parts connect, but you got a new character that's introduced in the third film, and there's no reference, there's no even character that is related to that explains like okay why is he in this one? There's none of that, and he's your central character in the third movie. So what happened in Halloween Kills? Yes, if the ones who have seen that, Michael Myers ends up taking out Laurie Strode's daughter, Judith. I believe I don't know if it's Judith. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Laurie Strode's daughter in that movie, she gets taken. Allison's mother, so she gets taken at the end, and it just ends. They're saying that now from that scene, you know, when Michael Myers takes out her and he's staring through the window, which the movie Laurie Strode's not in. She's just in the hospital for the whole fucking movie in Halloween Kills. That's why you go to Halloween Ends, and it says that Michael Myers has just been away for 4 years. 4 years from the that gruesome murders that Michael Myers committed. Now he's just been away for 4 years. So 4 years now, he's just hiding under the sewers like a goddamn rat, and he's like wounded. He doesn't have his full strength. He's not a boogeyman. He just feels just like some normal dude in this movie for whatever reason. And like the people are just like going back to the normality. Like Laurie Strode when she's introduced to this, And this is one thing I never got. Like, Michael Myers killed her daughter in the last installment, Halloween Kills, and in this movie she's making pumpkins, and she's telling her granddaughter that she needs to date this crazy person, the new protagonist, the new character is introduced. Whereas in Halloween, the Halloween 2018, which the events when Michael Myers first came happened 40 years ago when he took out the babysitters. She was ready. She was like in having shotguns in her house. She put traps in her house. She was secluded from everyone. She was like ready for the battle. Like when Michael Myers comes, I'm gonna be the one who's taking him. And in this one, it just feels like she's just forgotten about it. She's just back to normal because Michael Myers was not caught in Halloween Kills. He just disappeared. So I just think that was like one of the biggest errors I just didn't get when I was watching this. And to go through this movie and like not even reference some of like what happens to Halloween Kills. Like there's little flashbacks and little like certain characters you see, but it sometimes feels like Halloween Kills happened and it didn't happen in the same if it's meant to be in the same continuity. Because how the heck do you start this movie just on this character? This Corey dude. It says that from the beginning he kills the kid. So he's babysitting one one like young kid, and he basically one fateful night he gets locked in like a closet, and he kicks and he tries to barge through the door, and he accidentally kills the kid, and that's when it starts. Halloween ends. So you have this because originally when I saw this, I thought this was like a cold open, like oh, this is gonna happen and this is gonna somehow tie to Michael Myers. You don't even see the boogeyman, the shape. Halloween's like one of Halloween's main images. You don't even see Michael Myers till like about 50 minutes into this movie. Like you see him like a glimpse when he pulls him, into the sewer, but you don't really see Michael Myers doing what he does till like maybe an hour into the movie. And I just think it's just very the word to describe it because I watched Cody Leach's spoiler review on this. It's foolish. I think it's foolish because you already have garnered an audience who possibly was fans of Halloween and probably fell off like from Rob Zombie's Bad Summers or even Halloween Resurrection that came out before Rob Zombie's ones. So I think a lot of fans came and I think some fans came back from Halloween 2018, and to go all the way here to this, it just didn't make sense. And as I said, like Michael Myers in this, it just feels very uncharacteristic. Like there's a scene when he brings in Corey into the sewer, and where Michael Myers, if he gets in contact with anyone, usually it's the end, game over, lights out, party's over, they're out. He brings this dude into the sewer and he like grabs him, strangling him, but he doesn't go for the kill. They both have this eye contact exchange, and I don't know what it's meant to mean. Like it's a transfer of evil, like Corey's supposed to be the new Michael Myers, but he doesn't kill him. And then what happens? They start having this like kind of tag team WWF matches underneath the sewer. Corey, who has a relationship now with Laurie Strode's granddaughter, Allison, she had a relationship with one cop. This cop manages to go in the sewer, and he wants to basically go and have he has problems with the Corey character. He goes into the sewer, and Michael Myers and this Corey character, they both got this guy. They both like knife him and stab him, and they take him out. And I'm just like, Michael Myers never, even as bad as the Rob Zombie movies are, is not someone who's a partnership good dude. It felt like sometimes he was Batman, Michael Myers was Batman, and Corey was Robin. And it was just so strange. Like I lost, like this was not the Michael Myers I saw from Halloween Return of the Michael Myers. This was not the Michael Myers I saw from Halloween H2O. This was just some other version who just felt very weak. It didn't really feel like a boogeyman, and it was strange. Once he actually took out that cop, that the ex of Allison, Michael Myers does this kind of strange thing. Like he got his powers back, which alludes to what Laurie Strode was saying, Halloween Kills. But God knows what like they were trying to do here. So let's just get some water. Yeah. So there's this big part of the movie where like Michael Myers and Corey are working as a team. Then after, because Corey slowly descended into darkness. He can't get over that mistake of the kid dying. He's getting bullied by this like marching band or this like musical band, whatever. No one respects him in this town, of Haddonfield. He has enough. He actually goes and meets Michael Myers in the sewer, and he wrestles with him, and he is able to take his mask. Michael Myers, Corey. I don't think he. I know that hype matters, but I mean, he was having difficulties with the music band. Let alone you're finding the personification of evil. He was able to take his mask and put him on the ground. Michael Myers. Like what? I'm looking like what is going on? So there's this part. I believe this is like maybe 3 quarters into the film where Corey, which I know a lot of people already discussed this in the trailers, like he was gonna be the Michael Myers. He takes his mask, he gets the overalls, and he starts committing crimes just like Michael Myers. He's there going from, he takes out like that radio station dude. He takes out the music band in that that state where the cars were then once, and he slowly works his way back to Laurie Strode, and this is where coming into the finale. So, and this is some this is some like bull completely. Corey gets to the part where, because even before we forgot to mention, like as I said, there's this like kind of love relationship that just didn't need to be there, especially after watching Kills and the original one. It was just some tacky nonsense. Like they originally were trying to get out of town. Allison and Corey were trying to leave at that time, but as I said, Corey keeps going into darkness, descending. Laurie wants Corey to stay far away. I believe she can see that he's gonna be the new Michael Myers. Corey actually tracks down Laurie Strode in a house where Laurie Strode was gonna try to commit self-deletion. She doesn't. She actually turns her weapon and shoots Corey. And then after this like exchange between these two characters, Corey commits suicide. He uses that famous kitchen knife that Michael Myers wields, and he commits suicide. And all right, and this is like 1 hour and almost 20 minutes into the movie, I believe. 1 hour 25 minutes in the movie. The movie that has spent from the earliest, from the first second of this film, building up to believe like, okay, there's gonna be something very grandiose, epic for this character. He's taken out, commits suicide. The real Michael Myers. Michael Myers actually comes and he actually takes, he twists his neck to make sure that he is never coming back. And again, it's like because I think this character was worthless completely. I just didn't understand what the need was to put him in. But the worst thing is to watch him from this whole movie to this point. You feel like it's gonna be prepared for something, and then it's taken out. Like there's probably some people actually liked this dude first and were invested, and next to the I'm seeing him take out, and then it's just Michael Myers versus Laurie again. I was just like, I don't need to see this again. And the worst thing is the fight is nowhere epic as even the other times they fought. The Halloween H2O spent a good chunk of the end movie of Laurie Strode facing her fears, going back into the school and saying like, you want me, here I am. I'm taking that from Predator 2 Riggs, but like she went in there, conquered his fears, and they had this kind of epic battle in H2O, and it was nothing to the level of this film. They just fight in one area of the house in the kitchen, and within like maybe 5 minutes, Laurie is able to get the best of Michael, and she beats him. She's able to like slice his throat, slice his arm. So her plan was to make him bleed out. And even when Michael Myers came back, as the boogeyman does, like the granddaughter Allison, who was left, she comes back to just like deliver that kind of coup de grace at the end. And oh man, disappointment is like central. Even the last bit of this movie when they carry Michael Myers, the whole like people of Haddonfield carrying him and put him in this kind of like garbage, like trash heap is where they can like the trash like metal trash, it gets like destroyed in there. They put Michael Myers' body in that. And here is the thing, as someone who again, I've probably watched all the Halloween movies. Maybe it's that maybe I only haven't watched the Rob Zombie, the second one. I watched the first one once, but that was enough. I didn't need to watch that trash again. But in all of the movies, like I feel in this one, Michael Myers just felt like just some random dude who had a mask. It just didn't feel that like as John Carpenter described him, he was like this force of nature, like he's the boogeyman. He can survive anything. The boogeyman. Well, this is not the Michael Myers in Halloween 2. That, and I know that was retcon, but whatever. I'm gonna say. Even in the first one, when Michael Myers was like lifting like Bob, over the top, or taking six shots to Loomis, 6 shots from Loomis. He does that. It just felt like he was a normal dude. And the way Laurie was able to beat him, I was like, okay, I get it. Like Michael Myers is weak, but he was away for 4 years. 4 years from Halloween Kills. He beat that whole mob, and he couldn't beat one woman and a granddaughter. What is going on? Like I just, you understand? And it just felt, even characters wise, it just felt like characters were worthless in not even just this movie, but in this whole trilogy. Like you had the sheriff, the one with the hat, who was just not he was never good for anything. Just to come up here and say, "Oh, this happened." He was useless. The sheriff there, Hawkins, who Hawkins people thought he actually was dead in the first one when Sartain actually took him out. He's there in Halloween Kills to sit with the bed and Laurie, and this movie he hardly even appears in this. Just near the end when Michael's already taken out. So like, what was the point with these characters to like really, especially in the first one, because in that first Halloween, like they really kind of push Hawkins, like he's gonna have some major kind of part with like the demise of Michael as like that flashback scene, which I liked in Halloween. Probably the best part in Halloween Kills, that flashback scene. I thought Hawkins would have had more of a pivotal part, but he had nothing. A lot of the characters that return, Lindsay, who's in this, it's just been nothing. So man, like I can't go anymore because I didn't want to keep this too long. But I will ultimately say, if I was to give this stars, I would give this a 1 out star. It's a terrible film. I'm not like again the biggest horror fan, but I do appreciate the Halloween movie. The original one, as I said, is a classic. I think Michael Myers as a character. The reason why they made 13 films, because there's a big fan base who likes the character who has his movies, and I just didn't think they handled this character the best way, and not even just Halloween Ends. I'm talking of like this whole David Gordon Green. I'm gonna say fuckology. I'm gonna say the trilogy, fuckology, whatever. This trilogy of films, it just doesn't serve the character justice. I think the original one was cool. Halloween Kills just has a lot of like logical problems. This whole like that mob culture nonsense, and when they were chasing the one evil dies tonight, chasing the one who escaped, the patient who escaped, who doesn't look anything like Michael Myers, and it led to his death. It never made sense. And this film, it's like it's not. You could only say this film's a Halloween film because it has Michael Myers and Laurie Strode as they advertise on the posters. But if you really look at it, it's just a film that takes place on Halloween, and it's telling the story of this guy who fucked up bad on Halloween. I think it was on Halloween night, but the accidental death of the kid, and you're seeing his story play through of like trying to be kind of like a copycat killer. But it just doesn't connect well to a trilogy of films. Like if they were gonna do this way, they should have introduced this dweeb in the first film. If you wanted to, even in Kills, if you wanted to, like, okay, this guy's gonna be the new Michael Myers, because I believe that's what they were trying to do. He needed to be introduced to first. You don't put that in the third film. That just doesn't make sense. Like, these lot who again maybe went to film school, who have worked on big projects, man. That just does not make sense, man. It's a bad writing idea. Yeah, I understand. So, oh man, so that's my thoughts, folks. I had to make this movie because I was it's one of those things. I watched it and I felt so bad, like I had to say something. And from a lot of people's videos, I do feel like I'm in one of the a lot of people would agree with what I'm saying. But definitely put your comments in the section. Will there be more Halloween movies? The answer is yes, for sure. They've managed to make 30 movies. There'll be a day when there'll be 50 Michael Myers movies. But it'll be interesting because I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna possibly reprise her role as Laurie Strode. Maybe this was a way to end it. But I just think, especially, and I'll just add this, with all the different Halloween timelines, man, it would have been nice if you wanted that definitive ending, like Halloween H2O would have been the best. I think that just like all put everyone's kind of storylines together. Like Laurie Strode, like, cutting the head of Michael Myers, that would have been the perfect way to end it. What they go on to do in Resurrection is pretty much unforgivable, but I still would have liked the part if I know Michael Myers ends up killing Laurie Strode end, but I would have loved it if both of them took it Albert out. Do you understand? Like, we're gonna end the pain of like Laurie Strode by taking my, like, she sacrificed herself, but it just as I said, the best way to describe this trilogy, it just has bad continuity with the whole Halloween franchise, if I may say. It just has bad continuity, but especially this one, like, it just felt like certain characters, like Allison is an orphan basically. She has no daughter, she has no mother or father, and they're not even mentioned. She's not even mentioned. She's a doctor now, but it doesn't even show the way how things get to it. So let me know what you all think about it. Honestly, don't. I can never watch this movie again. I can watch Halloween 18, maybe Kills, for a time waster, but I could never return back to this movie. But yes, that's enough of me ranting. Let me know what you all think about it. Put it all in the comment section. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, stay tuned for the next rant. And this 100% is the worst movie I've seen this year. And I'm going to end with that. Richie Rich, signing out.